welcome on in to another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry. Does look like it's going to be a solo show today. I am back. I'm feeling better. Ready to break down today's card. I actually don't have a whole lot, so this is going to be a bit of a shorter show. We'll probably have more tomorrow. Yes, I am watching I am keeping my eye on the Leafs game, Toronto and Philadelphia, that is currently playing. It is a live game that we have on this Thursday. There's this random 2 p.m. game, so I was interested to see it on the slate. Currently, Toronto is up 3-1 on Philadelphia. What's up, Richie? Thanks for smashing like. Much appreciated. Great to see me back. Thanks. Great to be back. Going to be a bit of a shorter show today. And I'm giving out my premium plays. Merry Christmas to everybody. And the fact that I don't have a whole lot. So we'll go over it here. I'll bring up the 4 games here, the first 4 games on the slate. Washington, Ottawa originally was going to be a pass for me. I'm seeing Forsberg is confirmed for Ottawa. It sounds like Darcy Kemper will be making his return from injury for Washington. I'm intrigued by Washington here. I'm interested in the minus 125 on the money line for the Capitals. I've faded Ottawa, not a whole often, not as much as I thought I would, but I've had success fading Ottawa, a team that I look to fade. Washington has played well overall. I think they come out here and get a road win. They are better at home. Washington definitely a team I want to back at home more often than on the road. But I just don't know what we're going to get from Kemper coming back from injury. You just don't know. And he has had concussion history in the past. So I just don't exactly know what I'm going to expect from Kemper. So I lean with Washington, have not pulled the trigger on it. 3-1 Leafs, let's fucking go. Yes, let's go, Richie. Winnipeg, Boston. Winnipeg plus 205 in Boston. Boston minus 225. I get it. Boston has been one of the best teams in the league this year. I backed them quite a bit throughout the league, throughout the season. But Winnipeg also has played really well. And I just don't think they should be plus 205. I think that's a little bit out of a price mismatch here. It will be Hellebuck in net for Winnipeg. Nobody's been confirmed yet for Boston. Obviously, they are on a back-to-back. Winnipeg as well. A lot of back-to-backs today. So goaltending, some goaltending matchups have not been confirmed. But I couldn't take Boston at minus 225 here. I do think Boston wins. That's why I'm not taking Winnipeg at the plus 205 price. But I just think it's a price mismatch. I think Winnipeg could win this. Game, and I don't think they should be plus 205. Carolina and Pittsburgh, I'm taking the under. Basically, these teams have both been going under as of late. And when you look at what they've done in the previous history against each other, and I guess I'll mention that. Yes, if you saw me on Twitter, I did get into a bit of somebody on Twitter posted that previous meetings between teams are irrelevant and basically don't matter. Anybody who watches the show knows that previous history stats are definitely part of my handicapping, but it should not be your only part of your handicapping. And in the end, everyone caps differently. There are things that other people do when they cap that I completely disagree with, but just because I disagree with it doesn't make it irrelevant. So in the end, previous history stats do matter, in my opinion, at least. Carolina 10-0-1 in their last 11 games. They've gone under in 13 of their last 18 games. Carolina games have gone under 5.5, including 5 of their last 6. Pittsburgh 13-2-1 in their last 16 games, also playing great hockey. They've gone under 5.5 in 4 of their last 5 games. 9 of their last 13 games. Both meetings this year have finished 3-2 Carolina wins, and 7 of the last 10 meetings between these teams in Pittsburgh have gone under 5.5. Under 5.5 plus 105. I locked it in yesterday. It's just previous history stats is one of the reasons why, obviously, and what these teams are doing right now. Obviously, it will be Antti Raanta in net. I was looking to see who would be in net for Carolina before I decided if I would take a side in this matchup. I was hoping for Kochetkov. I was hoping for him, but it is Raanta, according to Goalie Post. So we'll see what happens with Raanta in this game. Can't overthink this Bruins puck line. Yeah, I think I'm just staying off because I don't think Boston should be that big of a price. But if they do win, they probably do win by 2. So I won't talk you off it. Under, yes, I like the under. I know 5.5 kind of scary to take an under nowadays in the NHL, but they still hit. It is 5.5 for a reason, in my opinion. Anyways, Islanders and New York Rangers, complete pass for me. Islanders have had the history, have had the success against New York Rangers, but this Rangers team is hot. I'm not stepping in front of this Rangers team, but I'm not overly, as much as I give Nick a lot of heck about his Islanders, I'm not overly excited running to the window to fade the Islanders either. So under, I would lean possibly with an under there as well. But one under 5.5 is good for me on this slate. I will stick with the one that I have here. Nobody's been confirmed in net for New York Rangers. It should be Shesterkin, I would imagine. Here, we'll go to the next final 3 games. It is a smaller slate, and then we'll get to NFL as well. I'll go over the NFL game where I'm kind of alone on an island. So that's basically my pick there. But Seattle, Vancouver, this is the game that the kind of disagreement about the previous history stats matter. Vancouver has won all 4 meetings last year. They won the first meeting against Seattle this year. Seattle has never beaten Vancouver. Yes, this is a good Seattle team. Yes, I've enjoyed making money off Seattle, especially during their hot streak. But Vancouver has their number. And that does not mean Seattle can't win tonight. Seattle could very well win this game. I do lean Seattle. I see minus 110 now, so it's getting a bit closer in this game, but I'm just staying off. I'm not going to force plays. I lean Seattle, but they just don't do well against Vancouver for whatever reason. So I'm off. Calgary and LA. It does appear that it will be Vladar and net against Phoenix Copley. I'm seeing a 6. Calgary, a heavy over team right now. LA, a very heavy over team to start the season earlier on, but not so much lately. So I'm ultimately passing on this game right now. I really want to take the over 6, but ultimately passing at this moment. We'll get to the comments here. Islanders and Rangers do play to under, in your opinion? Yeah, for sure. And you lean Vancouver too. Yeah. Something's telling me to take Vancouver. I want to take Seattle. I do. But I just don't like how Vancouver's dominated them. Only one of the games was by 1 goal. The other games were all by 2 goals. They've scored 4 or 5 goals in every game against them. So I get it. Seattle has improved heavily from last year, but I just don't like it. So I'm staying off. But I would agree with Vancouver. Philly on the breakaway. Ooh, and that might be a penalty shot. It's possible. We'll see. It might be a 5. It's probably going to be a 5-on-3 for a minute for Philadelphia. But the final game of the night in the NHL, Minnesota and San Jose. Minnesota was losing to Anaheim last night. Did not show up for the second period, but they showed up for the third period. And when you're facing Anaheim, showing up for one period is enough because they were able to win 4-1 yesterday in Anaheim. Minnesota, 9-0-0 going back to last season on the second night of a back-to-back. So the whole back-to-back angle here doesn't work for the Wild. They enjoy playing on the back-to-back nights for some reason. San Jose, awful at home. I like this spot for the Wild. I've said it that they would be going into Christmas on a 7-game win streak. I'm going to stick with that. San Jose coming off back-to-back home losses to Calgary, 3-10-5 at home on the year. That's crazy. Other than the Shark Tank, they're 3-10-5. But one of the reasons why I like Minnesota the most here, Filip Gustavsson. What a trade by Bill Guerin to trade away Cam Talbot. I'm so glad that Gustafsson is turning out the way he has this season. Yes, Talbot's played good as well for Ottawa, but he doesn't have the numbers Gustafsson has. Gustafsson, in his last, he's 6-0 in his last 6 starts. He's allowed 2 or less goals in 5 of the 6 games, 1 or less goals in 4 of the 6 games. So he's been absolutely amazing. Minnesota, 6 goals allowed in their last 6 games. I'm going right back to the puck line here at plus 155. It doesn't scare me that it doesn't scare me at all that it's Gustafsson in that. And it doesn't scare me that the Wild are on a back-to-back. They've shown they've had success in back-to-backs. Philly's trying to score, but Toronto's stopping. Sorry, we do have a live game going on as well, so I am going to be distracted there a little bit. But yes, Minnesota. When it comes to props, I was big on the power play props yesterday. I got all 3 off 1 goal. Boldy, Addison, and Eriksson. But I'm not going back to those today because San Jose and Anaheim, they may both be pretty bad teams this year. But San Jose has a great penalty kill. So although the Wild have scored power play goals in a lot of games lately, I don't have the exact numbers here. I'm not going to go to it. Also, what I didn't mention, Minnesota 4-1-1 in their last 6 games in San Jose, 5-1-1 in the last 7 meetings overall between the 2 teams. But we'll bring up the NFL. I'll bring up the NFL odds here for Thursday night football. I already said I'm alone on an island here because all I see on Twitter is people on the Jets. Everyone is on the Jets here. But the Jets have won 1 of their last 5 games. Yes, they faced some good opponents. Jacksonville 3-1 in their last 4 games. Jacksonville can actually win their division and make the playoffs, which is crazy to think. They're 6-8, but I feel like they're actually in a better spot to make the playoffs than the Jets are at 7-7, just because the Jets have to face the 2 wildcard teams that are playing well. And Jacksonville just has to get past Tennessee, who it sounds like will not have Ryan Tannehill for the rest of the season. Jacksonville coming off overtime win against the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, this could definitely be a letdown spot for them, but they're motivated to make the playoffs. This Jacksonville team I backed at different times throughout the year. I'm backing them here. I like what I've seen from them lately. Don't like what I've seen from the Jets. So give me the underdog Jacksonville Jaguars, which I am kind of alone on an island with tonight in the NFL. San Jose, Minnesota, plus 1,500 reg. Nice sprinkle mini hedge. So plus 1,500 in reg. San Jose, Minnesota. I'm not quite sure what. San Jose win the first period, maybe, and Minnesota to win in reg. Is that it? But I'm not sure. But that is today's show. Bit of a shorter show. I'm sure I'll have more people on with me tomorrow. Bigger slate tomorrow. May do a Christmas Eve show as well for all the football that we have. Or I may just go on Nick and Tim's show if I'm invited onto Earl Sports Bets. Leafs scored. 4-1 Leafs. Thank you, Nylander. Yeah, that is today's show. Best of luck to everyone. Or I should give out my best bet. My best bet today. Don't have a lot of picks. I haven't given out a lot of picks. Basically 3. I'm on 3 official picks. Give me Minnesota Wild -1.5. Or you could take Wild and Reg, which I'll also be jumping on if you want to go a little bit safer, which is minus 118, minus 104 for Minnesota and Reg. But hey, and everyone's going to say, Terry, you're the homer. You always bet on the Wild. Hey, I did say coming out of this Christmas Eve, the Wild have a tough schedule coming up. And I will not be recommending everyone to bet the Wild after Christmas. But I did say I think they head into Christmas on a 7-game winning streak. They've won 6 in a row. So give me Wild minus 1.5 for today. San Jose first period, Minnesota and Reg plus 1,400. Oh, Philadelphia just scored. Wow. So it is now 4-2. A lot of goals coming in this game. Best bet. Let's go Wild puck line. I like it. You did say that. Yes. Let's go Wild puck line. Best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. And we will see you again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode. Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Best of luck, guys.